3, 2, 1, go!
Yo, yo, yo. What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Liam, and I bet you didn't see this one coming, did you? A Roy 3.5 episode. Now, when I made the last episode, I actually thought that the footage wasn't as good as it should have been, and I was actually going to make a montage before I went on holiday today, but there's been different plans. I'm actually going to put this footage up as it is, unedited, and I'm also going to do the voiceover, which is what you're listening to now. But this will be condensed down into a montage. Yes, we're going to make a Roy's Art Boy montage. There's some great responses from the likes of Smashboards. I also got some stuff back on Twitter. Some of my Facebook friends had said it was great. So I thought, you know what, we'll bring another Roy episode into the equation. We'll get something going there. Anyway, what you're seeing right now is some For Glory footage. I actually managed to get all of this in probably about 3, maybe 4 hours, which, you know, on average I'd imagine that it takes a lot of people, you know, at least a couple of hours to get some good footage. But for the character that I don't normally use, I actually think that this is really good timing. And ultimately, Roy's become my boy. Roy is now my boy. I was a non-believer for a long time. Right, I never believed in Roy. I never played Roy. Who plays a Roy when you got Moth and Lucy, you know? Moth and Lucy, let's go. But as you can see, all of this clip here has just been reads. That is all that Roy gets. Reads. Make sure you remember that. This is something that I was saying in the last, actually the last episode, the Roy number 3 instead of the 3.5. I was actually just saying that he gets a lot of stuff off reads, and a lot of people were saying that that was a really informative guide. So I thought I'd give you some more info. So what I found is you can actually play Roy aggressive, but you can also play him as ultimately like a sort of like a bait and punish sort of around the shield. I said around the shield in the last video, but not in the same way. You see how I knew that he was going to attack there, so I decided to go for the up air instead. I actually went for a mix up there as well, the landing up air, because I knew that he would tech, and I know that he didn't have an answer if I actually went for the up air instead, and that would continue a combo, or it could get a chain going. Just things like that. Just things that can make your life a lot easier when it comes to trying to get combos and tacking up as much damage as you can with Roy, because that is the most important part of Roy. Hitting people, making people realise the potential of the sword, right? Because it's super hard if you're not getting the reads and you're not trying to get the reads. It is hard to do damage with Roy. As you saw there, I actually went for I think it was a landing neutral air into a down tilt into a dash attack. You get a lot of mileage off dash attack. It's really weird. There's not a lot of characters that I would recommend using dash attack with, but it's ultimately a combo finisher that actually works really well because it's got quite a bit of knockback. So you've actually, I mean, even if you get the sour spot, they still go relatively far away from you, so obviously that prevents you and resets the neutral, so that's always a good thing to do. Resetting the neutral, I'd say it was actually quite important with Roy, because sometimes you need a breather and you need to assess exactly what it is that your opponent's doing. So when I reset the neutral with Roy, I like to think, did they tech that? Did they not tech that? What was the reaction like when I did down throw? Did the air dodge away? Did the air dodge to the ground? That sort of thing is absolutely crucial. Just being able to read and process what the player is doing. Like you saw there, I actually mentioned this in the last episode as well. I actually went for the fully neutral air into the jab, but because obviously it was at a low percent, Falcon was able to maintain his footing on the ground and actually got a jab in. Now that's because Falcon, I think, has like a frame, is it a 2 or a 3 jab? And obviously the jab acts as a combo breaker in this situation because my move won't come out fast enough and he isn't in hit stun for long enough for that to work. So as you can see, I'm trying to get the kill. I know there's certain things that I can do which will ultimately get me the kill, but I ultimately think that Roy doesn't really function well at a high level of play, because a lot of these situations are tech reads or they're air dodge reads or anything like that, and a lot of the times when you look at how, you know, DK Will or Mewtwo King picked up Donkey Kong, and obviously you had the Ding Dong that was a pretty much guaranteed, and there was only certain things that people could do out of that combo. It became harder for the combo to break. But ultimately, when you think about Roy, if I do down throw, people can jump away. I'm reliant on them making the wrong decision in order for me to tack on the rest of the damage. Now, that creates a bit of a situation for Roy, because ultimately, if you're able to make reads at a high level of play, Roy could be a good asset to have. I'm not saying that he's a top level character, because by no means do I think Roy is a top level character. I think he's good, and he's definitely a viable character in a for glory sense, but that's dependent on if you know what your opponent's going to do, and obviously at a high level of play, people will understand and read you like you're reading them. But I don't think that's a prominent issue on For Glory. As you can probably see in this video, a lot of the kills that I end up getting are coming from the fact that I'm doing down throw to up smash, or I'm waiting for somebody to land the air dodge to the ground. I'll see it and I'll think that is a free kill, because obviously up smash is a multi-hit move, so it's not like I'm just going to throw out the one hit box and if it misses then I'm stuffed, you know what I mean? So the fact that it's a multi-hit move and it can cover that sort of air dodge is actually crucial for Roy in a sense, because it ultimately gives him another option. I'm not saying that by any means Roy's a bad character. He still has kill options. His F smash still kills a relatively low percent. It's actually I say relatively, it's a mega low percent. You've also got his jab, his down tilts, which are great. They're also kind of combo starters and combo finishers in their own right. You have obviously got up tilts, which string into themselves at later percents. I think I haven't shown the Falcon footage yet, but there is a Falcon game where the first combo that I do is actually just a 3 up tilt string. They're all sweet spotted and they all do quite a bit of damage, so obviously Roy can get damage. It's just how are you going to tack on the damage and make the situation for that thing to happen. Ultimately, I think that Roy can give a few characters a hard time. I don't like playing sword characters with Roy. I know that sounds kind of silly because obviously you've both got a sword, but when it comes to it, I got my shield broken there. I felt like a right scrub. I know you're all going to be laughing at me saying, Liam, how can you make footage when you're getting your shield broken and stuff? But back to what I was saying, it becomes... What was I actually saying? There was a point that I was making. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to remember that. But Roy... Oh, sword characters, yeah. And Roy has a problem dealing with sword characters when the principle of the sword is that you have more range, and it gives you that extra option to keep people away from you, like obviously in the Marth matchup. It becomes increasingly hard to rush down because obviously they've got an extended hitbox which is not attached to the body, so obviously there's no vulnerability there. I actually managed to get that read, like I was saying, air dodge to the ground. If you read that, you can get the kill quite early sometimes. Now, there is that the range issue is a real problem with Roy, because you know, you can say, oh, but Roy is basically just an up close character with an extension of a sword, and I guess you could say that, but you know, when you look at how Mario's hitboxes work on his legs, for example, in his back air, the sour spot, I believe, is at the base of his legs, whereas the top of his legs actually has a relatively good sweet spot to it. I'm sure I said sour spot when I was on about the base of his legs. So, but that's the opposite with Roy, because obviously there's no potential for that space in there. You're ultimately reliant on being close to somebody, and that can be a problem sometimes. Sometimes you've I spam crouch because I didn't think this footage was going to be in the final video actually, but I played this guy before and he was getting really cocky and kind of arrogant, so I decided to crouch spam, and I actually get that mega read, but it didn't kill, and I was quite upset about that. See what I mean about F smash? If that was any other character in the game, that F smash would have killed easy, but it's just because Roy is given this limitation that you have to hit them with the base of the sword for it to make any reasonable damage. And there's a lot of run-up shielding, perfect shield, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of trial and error with approaches that can cause a lot of people problems, and I get that a lot of people won't enjoy Roy simply because they're seeing. Oh, it was a cloud footage. Sorry, not the Falcon footage. Yeah, there's a lot of maintenance to do with Roy. There's a lot of trying to find ways to tack things on, and I personally really enjoy it. But I know a lot of people, you know, maybe won't have the patience to try and excel with such a character because there's ultimately better characters out there that require less maintenance, and I think that's kind of a shame. I wish they would have buffed his maybe just his sweet spot range just a tiny bit, because maybe just some hitbox alterations, or you know, maybe make some of his tilts a bit more useful. I don't know. It is what it is. It's a tricky situation now, because I hear a lot of people say they wouldn't see. I could have actually gone for the up smash there, but I knew that he'd probably jump away. I went for the up smash there, but it didn't get a kill. See, that's a great confirm right there in terms of making a read. Like I was saying, he's overly dependent on making reads, and it just becomes a vicious cycle. That's why I think Cloud is ultimately. I think Cloud would ultimately be the better and more popular option if you had the choice of the one or the other, because Cloud's just got better potential in terms of he's got great combos, he's got great kill setups, limit's basically broken. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, just please fall in love with Roy for me. Roy is so cool. Please just like Roy. We are coming up to the end of the video. I'd just like to quickly mention I am going on holiday today. I'm actually flying today. This video should be up before I actually go anywhere though. So maybe there'll be another video up before I go away. Who knows? I think it might be the start of a beautiful new series. If not though, I'll let everybody know. Thank you again for watching, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I absolutely love making these videos for you guys. That up smash seals the deal with big old Roy. Smash the like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.